Just give me 1 second. You know, they said they had fixed my computer, but it's still as slow as, it's just slow as molasses.
I hate computers.
Oh, yeah. What do we do before computers? I don't know.
Less stress.
Triplet.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I still remember when we would get appointments and they said, we're demanding or requiring everybody to get emails. And nobody had an email address. And I was like fighting it. And then they're like, you got to get a fax machine. I was fighting it. I still had my pager.
Oh, my favorite is Ohlsdorf.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I think he fought the cell phone the longest of anybody I know. I mean, and then he got a flip and then he didn't know how to turn it off.
Oh, yeah.
And it would ring during the middle of any trial or anything.
But you know, he still has his flip and he still has his pager. Yeah.
I don't even know the pagers were.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they had service.
I thought I was high tech when I got my pager because when a judge wanted you, they would just put the court number in there and you're like, excuse me, I have to run to the 290. All right, we're going to go on the record in 2023 CR 10135, State of Texas versus Adam Gonzalez. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
for the defense?
Jaime Cavazos.
All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 9:10 a.m. The defendant has not appeared in the courtroom. Counsel, have you had a contact with your client?
I have,
And did you make him aware of this hearing?
and I provided him notice of what the hearing was going to be about, and we discussed that as well.
All right, there's someone peeping through the door at the back. Is that Adam Gonzalez? All right, thank you. And defense, what are you requesting?
I'm requesting that the court allow me to withdraw as his retained attorney and also to withdraw as a surety.
All right. Excuse me, sir, in the back, what is your name? All right, just have a seat. All right, state, do you have any objections to the motion to withdraw?
No.
All right, the motion to withdraw will be granted. And counsel, you'll have to file a separate motion to be removed as surety, to surrender surety, because I don't have that motion.
The orders attached to it, and the orders attached to this as well.
All right, thank you. So that will be granted, and I'll sign the affidavit to surrender surety. And Mr. DeLeon, are you available to represent Mr. Gonzalez?
Yes, I am. Mr. Gonzalez.
Okay. No. All right, so if you could place Mr. DeLeon on this case. And then counsel, if you'll give him the contact information for your client. And Mr. DeLeon, he was the surety. So I filed the affidavit to surrender surety.
I'm gonna.
Yes.
Fine by me. He's scheduled for the 6th of February. Okay. Here.
And Mr. DeLeon, what this case is set for is, it's set on February 6th, and it's set for discovery. There is a video that It's missing out.
Actually, it's been downloaded into
Okay.
the system. I do have it.
Judge, we supplied that.
all right, thank you. So you can make sure that Mr. DeLeon has all of that.
Sure.
All right, if there's nothing else, you're excused.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. And Mr. DeLeon, if that's not a good date for you, let us know. Oh, it is?
We've got like 5 or 6 cases, including the trial in here.
Oh, so you'll be here.
I will be here. That's good. What's the first name of this defendant?
It's Adam Gonzalez, and I'm gonna give her the file so she can give you all the information.
Yeah, okay.
And then good morning, Joe Temes. That's the Officer Erdman.
Let me see his indictment. I'm gonna make a copy. Sorry, you're gonna serve this.
Officer Erdman? Yes.
Sorry, new intern Erwin.
Hi. Hi, what's your name?
Erwin.
Oh, nice to meet you, Erwin. How's it going?
Good, good.
So where are you in the process of your legal career?
So right now I'm at ETSA.
Mhm.
I'm double majoring in my criminal justice and psychology.
Awesome.
Yes, thank you. Fall is when I graduate, so hopefully next year,
Mhm.
spring is when I can get into St. Mary's.
Okay, well, if you need anything, let us know. And if you want to come down and see the process from the ground up, as we say, and go to the back and see what they do, just let me know.
Okay,
And you're welcome anytime.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Sure, good.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Officer Erdman, are you able to hear me?
My goodness.
It is.
All right.
Yeah.
I went around like who's on first.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
You called out the name Andrew on that earlier.
Yes.
He said for Monday,
Yes, I don't know why no, he's here in the courtroom.
but he said for Monday.
All right,
My client.
all right, if you can let him know. Deputy Laura, Officer Erdman says he can't hear me.
Andrew Arnett. Andrew Arnett. Yeah.
Everything's working.
Okay,
Can I approach?
yes.
I was mistaken.
Oh, no problem.
It's fine.
All right.
Yeah.
Here's his contact info.
Everything on our side is.
My emails.
Okay, I'm just gonna chat with him in the box.
It's Monday, the 29th.
Oh, hi. Yes, it's the 29th. All right, and if something comes up with you, just let me know and we'll work it around your schedule, okay?
I'm getting rescheduled again.
All right, thank you. I'm sorry about that. There we go. Yes, because he hasn't even been sentenced yet. So they're just gonna be on hold. I don't know where she is. She's gonna have to wait. And I believe that officer is upset about coming back on a different day. It's like it can't be helped.
Hey,
Hey, that is okay.
I went in the battle against that thing. I'll tell you.
As Deputy Laura always says, it's eggs, it's protein, it has everything you need. Yeah. Hello. Hi.
You want to pay? Yeah, and I told him. I said, How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing okay. How's it going for you, Judge?
Well, it's a different life.
Yeah. All right, could I see his file?
supposedly, I was told that Mr. Dunn, Zach Dunn,
Mhm.
he opposes the motion. But I'd like to talk to you about it. I don't want to be in a position to
Okay,
claim that I'm ex parte in you, but
okay,
this kid, if you notice that's got 1,200 pages of medical record, Judge. He has had about 7 or 8 surgeries because he lost a foot,
mhm,
and he continues to have a lot of medical issues, including some neurological.
Okay.
He's due to terminate in December.
okay.
Right now, he's in jail. They
Okay.
picked him up.
All right, well, let me review everything that you've given me.
Okay.
And then we'll go from there and I'll have them put it on the docket and we'll see what's going on.
Okay, Judge.
All right, no problem.
Good to see you.
All right, you too.
Yes.
Okay, you know that.
Yeah.
Is that right, Sam? Okay.
I was perfectly fine with him. Yeah. Yeah.
Dang. Imagine that.
Michael, how's it going?
Stays.
Yeah. You're wearing my favorite colors though, purple.
I have nothing else clean, so it's like, oh, looks like it's gonna be a purple day.
Oh my gosh.
I have no
Well,
lights,
no lights?
no whites.
Whites,
clean.
Well, I will tell you, it is hard for me to find anything. I will be glad when my house is repaired.
What are they saying?
April, May.
Oh my God.
We're getting close to my having been out of my house for a year. And I keep telling people, and they act like it's a well-known fact. I'm like, why are you all hiding this?
Mhm.
Who knew that the hose from the toilet to the wall, you have to change that out every 10 years? Did you know that?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. And you know, the plumber acts like that's a well-known fact.
Did it start from there?
Yes.
It happened to us years ago.
Oh, wow. And you know what? It was running for 7 days.
The little tiny things. Adds up.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh my.
So my
God.
entire house was flooded. Everything was destroyed.
Ours, second floor bathroom
Mhm.
sprung and just went through the floor and through the living room and boom, down.
Ah,
Mess, hated that.
Yeah.
And they were horrible. The contractors were all horrible.
oh, God.
Every once in a while, yeah.
Well, hopefully everything's, hey, I'm loving your shirt though. They tell me you're in jeans. That's okay because you're not supposed to be in court today.
Okay.
But
What can I do for you?
I am concerned about that witness from yesterday, the child.
Okay.
So this is Barbara. You can call her and she will contact them if you have contact number
Okay.
to get her treatment or whatever she needs.
Okay. All right, great.
And so if you tell her it's an emergency and tell her Stephanie Boyd said, because I knew her when I did CPS cases.
Who's she with?
But she is in the courthouse. She's on the civil side.
Okay.
But I forget what her title is on the civil side,
Okay.
but she'll be able to at least give you or give her information to connect with therapists or whatever that are free for
Sure.
her.
Yeah.
Because I think she's gonna need that. And I think her
I
other
think so
siblings are gonna
too.
need that as well.
Well, the other victim in that case, the one that mom wasn't letting us talk to,
Mhm.
up and moved out of the house, moved in with her boyfriend. She's pregnant. And she's just newly 18. The girl from the other day, she's older. She's an adult, obviously.
Mhm.
But she's got a 1-year-old and
Yeah.
they need help because nobody's helped them.
Oh, yeah. And then Barbara can help them with that. And she can also set the other one up with prenatal
Good. Okay.
and somebody to contact too in case that relationship is not going well for her.
All right. Thank you, Judge.
All right, you're
That's
welcome.
helpful. I'll reach out.
All right, thanks.
Y'all have fun in trial.
All right, thank you.
Judge,
Yes.
Joanne Uncle did call me right back. She was in presiding. She said she's coming over here right now. But I told her the court's starting trial. The Judge has been looking for you. So just to let you know, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Judge, I'm interested in that matter with Joanne Ankle. I think you might be doing it after a break or.
I don't know. Probably so, because we're missing jurors too. Well, if she rushes over here now, we'll get it done.
Across the hall.
Oh, well, if you'll stay here.
Or I could stay here.
Yes, I mean, you can stay here because they say Joanne is running over here and we're missing 2 jurors.
I'm gonna check in next door though, but I'll be right back.
And Deputy Lord, now I'm telling my brother, you better eat even if you don't feel like it, drink fluids, even if you don't feel like it. Yes.
Hydrated is key, like all that phlegm.
Mm-hmm.
Be ready for it.
So now it's just like, I want to fly home and take care of him. He can't fly on the plane.
That's exactly what.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna have to get together with my 2 brothers and my mom and have just like a short little trip for us.
Plane, 32 gigs.
to reminisce.
No, it should be more than that. If not, I'll let you know, but if it's more than.
He does, yeah.
Yeah, just give me a holler. It's-
Well, I tell you, I'm gonna see if I can,
Of course, I'm-
one of these days, get them here, of course, after my house is done,
On Monday, but I'll.
and get them here.
What is it?
But I'm telling you, it is so difficult to find things
Yes.
when you're not at your place.
What is it? I think that's a problem. Okay, I'll do it. It's just. No, that's not your fault. No, I planned on being, I was late, that's not your fault. No, I didn't expect you to be down here till 9:30. I did. I mean, that's the whole reason I called Rivers, I mean, I was.
Yeah, it's at least 5 minutes long, but not.
I don't
Is that how you say his last name? The guy that won the national championship at Michigan, he left and went to the Chargers.
Oh, yes.
I just found out yesterday. so
Oh,
it's been in a whole-
Okay, so I saw that, and I don't know why college coaches do not understand. Oh, there's Joanne. Tell her to please come in. It's no time to be.
I think that family's out there.
All right. And so they never do well in the professional because the way you treat your college players.
Oh, you can't.
You can't,
Well, I mean, it's changing though. This is
Yeah.
like it's turning to semi-pros. But
Yes.
I think Harbaugh had to leave because I think because they suspended him and all that. He's like, see ya.
well, see, let me just tell
And
you,
he's at the top.
now that this has happened, you know what the next thing is gonna happen? You're gonna find out, hi, everybody's here?
Yes, sure, everybody is here.
All right, so can they bring him out?
Yeah, he's gonna go.
Oh, he's going, okay. So I think it's gonna be similar to Saban and everybody else. The only person I've seen who's been able to do it has been Carroll,
Yes.
but when Harbaugh leaves, guess what? That school is gonna be hit with some violations.
Every time though.
Yeah.
Every time that the head coach leaves, it's just like, I mean, they
And you
leave,
know what,
especially the way he left.
yes, I think there should be some kind of sanctions for them when they leave as well, because you're leaving a program, you've caused all this chaos. They're being hit with no scholarships,
Mhm.
no bowl games, and you just get to go to the next
And,
level.
and no matter what the players lose and the university loses,
Yeah.
I think the contract should read, if you leave and there's sanctions, allegations are done during your tenure, you got to forfeit 50% of your
Yes.
previous income.
Because you know what? SMU has never recovered.
Okay. And you know now,
Mm.
that stuff is like not a big deal. Reggie Bush lost his Heisman
Yes,
and he got like what, somebody rented him the house or something.
yes.
And I'm like,
They
need to
should
give
have let
his
him keep
Heisman
it.
back.
They should have let him keep his Heisman.
I think they should give him his Heisman.
Yes.
I mean, because right now people are getting paid millions of dollars for more than what he did, and I was like, that's just wrong. I don't think they should have took his Heisman away.
I don't either.
I didn't like you. I don't like USC,
No,
but the fact is that he
They should've-
deserved the Heisman.
they should have let him keep his Heisman.
Yeah. I mean,
But
Johnny
you-
Manziel gets to keep his.
I'm a little bit upset with the Heisman anyway, because there was a year that LSU's defensive player, his name is going to come to me. He should have won the Heisman, but you know why I didn't give it to him? He plays defense.
Tyrann Mathieu?
What?
No.
When's the last?
Oh, but he deserved it too. Yeah, Honey Badger,
The
he
last-
did deserve it.
Oh, I love that. The last defensive player was Woodson from Michigan.
Yeah, and they really don't give it to
Because
defensive
but
players.
he went both ways too, though. He played receiver a lot of times and a kick returner, but then he also played.
Oh, so what you're telling me now is
got it.
defense, you have to do
Yeah,
everything.
you got to do everything.
Oh, Judge, I thought we were gonna talk about the LSU player who just was caught gambling on like 8,900 bets.
Did you hear that?
On his own games?
So here's my thing.
Okay, he bet 8,000 times, but only 16 of them were on college football games.
But some of them are on him to do well in
Okay.
games that he.
I wouldn't
played
bet
Let
on
me
this.
ask you this though. before you start dropping things like that, has he been tried?
Oh, there.
What happened to the presumption of
I
innocence?
mean,
I'm not having you come at.
Here's the thing, somewhere Pete Rose is making this exact same argument about how he
I-
in the Hall of Fame.
I am not having you disparage LSU unless it has been proven beyond a reasonable doubt.
I'll tell you what, if you bet on yourself, I think it's fine.
Well, see, the funny thing is that he bet on himself to do well.
That's what I'm
And then he
saying.
did horribly.
That's what.
No,
No, if he bet against himself, I mean, I was like, wait a minute.
No, that
Come
one
on.
was one that he was like.
All right, so we're gonna take up Mejia. Just 1 second. She's saying something's missing from the discovery.
Yes, but it's not in any way.
All that, that's what you're missing. Yeah, we looked at it.
It's not.
All right, so here's the thing. Are we ready to go on this? Because if we're not, we have a jury that's waiting at 9:30 and y'all gonna have to come back in the afternoon. I'm sorry. Okay. All right, so I need the acknowledgement of discovery.
You just weren't able to download.
It's too big.
Okay, so are you okay with going forward? Oh, yeah, I'll give it to you. I mean, I just gotta get it. I mean, I can't do it right now because we won't have the time to do it. What I can do is download it.
All right, let's do this. You guys come back at 1:30.
Okay.
Exactly at 1:30. And Deputy Mejia, sorry, could you put a hold on him?
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone, I'm sorry, we'll come back at 1:30. And if we could bring the jurors out.
Judge, please
Yes.
remember my.
Ask to approach. I'll make sure you make it.
Good, thank you.
You're
Got my
welcome.
IT guy and everything online to make sure I could log.
All right, do you need a place to do it from? Because if you would like to do it from my office, you're more than welcome to.
That's very kind of you. I appreciate it. I'll take advantage of that.
All right, thank you. All right, the court is calling 2024 CR 0170, State of Texas versus John Stephen Meyer. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense?
Good. I'm here with Mark Stevens for Mr. Meyer.
Mr. Meyer?
Yes.
All right, off the record for a moment. Jason? If you all have everything before 1:30 and we're on a break, then we'll be able to take it up.
Okay, Judge.
But everybody needs to be here at a specific time because this jury has always been on time.
Oh, yes, Judge. And what I'll do is I'm gonna go upstairs and try to download it and
Okay.
get it all done.
All right, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we are back on the record. Are both parties ready to proceed, state? Defense?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and if we could have your witness back on the witness stand, please. We came close to the 9:30 mark, didn't we? It's 9:37.
You said was- It's not what they yesterday. Very.
All right, Diana, are you ready? All right, let's bring the jury in.
All right, for the jury. Rise.
All right, everyone, please be seated. And you are still under oath? All right, and I believe we were on defense's cross-examination, correct?
It is correct, Your Honor.
All right, you may proceed.
Just 1 minute to get organized, Your Honor. Thank you. Deputy Salazar, yesterday, when we quit, up to that point, we had been talking about August 5th through the 7th. That is Friday, the 5th, 6th, and the 7th, right?
I believe so.
Okay. Just to make sure I'm clear on this, on Friday, August the 5th, you arrived to conduct your static surveillance about 6 a.m. You don't know exactly when, right?
Correct.
And you left about 12 noon, about 6 hours you were there.
Correct.
Okay. And Deputy Rios was with you that Friday, August the 5th.
Correct.
Anybody else with you?
No.
Okay. So on August the 5th, Friday, did you see John Meyer at the residence 224 Majestic Grove?
I did not.
Did you identify any vehicle coming, going in the driveway that was identified with John Meyer on August the 8th? Excuse me, August the 5th.
I can't recall.
Well, did you make any notation of identifying any vehicle associated with John Meyer in your report?
I can't recall.
Well, look at your report and see.
I don't have my reports in front of me.
Yes.
No notations in here.
Now, Saturday, August the 6th, you said you made spot checks.
Correct.
Can't remember how many you made,
Can't recall.
about how much time was involved in the total number of spot checks you made on August the 6th, Saturday?
No.
But someone, I believe, on your team, it's not clear, reported seeing the yellow box Penske truck that day, Saturday, August 6th. Would that be right?
I can't recall.
Did you look in your report and see?
It's not noted there.
It's not noted there? Okay. You yourself didn't see John Meyer on August 6th when you were making whatever number of spot checks you made?
No.
And on August 7th, you don't remember making any spot checks or being at 224 Majestic Grove?
Correct.
By the way, talking about reports, you did have a substantial training in writing reports as a peace officer, have you not?
Correct.
I've got here your TCO records. Tell the jury what a TCO record is.
It's
the state license or regulation as to how many classes we take in our training and so forth.
So this is public record. Anybody can go online and get it, can they not?
I
Your
believe so.
TICO records. Any licensed commissioned peace officer has these records, right?
Correct.
So, and I can show you this if you want, but just see if it makes sense to you. Do you think you had report writing 4 hours, 4 course hours training in report writing on April 28th, 2010 in the Bexar County Sheriff's Academy?
I can't recall.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
I don't need to have this marked. I'll do it if you want me to, Your Honor.
Just mark it for purposes of the record. And you can mark it as an alphabet since it won't be offered.
So Deputy Salazar, is that your TICO record?
I believe so.
But your name on the top, is it not?
Correct, but it doesn't have any more identifiers. I'm not the only Jesus Salazar at the Bexar County Sheriff's Office.
Can you see if those, the data in there matches up with you, Jesus Salazar, and so as opposed to somebody else?
I believe it is.
And counsel, how's that document marked?
Defendant's Exhibit A, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
You satisfied that's your TICO records? Okay. So if we look at, I asked you about April 28th, 2010 in the Bexar County Sheriff's Academy. It reflects how many course hours
It says 4.
for what topic?
Report writing.
Report writing, and that's where they bring you in, sit you down, you have 4 hours of classroom about how to write a report, right?
Correct.
And again, 6/24/2010, same topic.
Correct.
If you can't read this, you just tell me and pull it over. But how many hours do you read there?
8.
8 hours. In 2012, December 4th, 2012, how many hours
12.
in report writing?
Correct.
Again,
Your Honor, I'd object to hearsay. He's just reading the document.
just to refresh his recollection.
All right, you're not allowed to read from the document.
You can read it to refresh your recollection and then just tell me if you now recall report writing January 15th, 2014, that course.
I don't recall any of them, but if it's on there, it says I took the class.
Sure. Okay. Another 4 hours?
Yes.
And then we got one in 2016 and one in 2015. That be right?
Correct.
So you've had a lot of training in writing reports.
Correct.
And why do they tell you it's important to write a good report?
Why do they tell us it's, I'm sorry, say again?
When these people are teaching you in these courses that we talked about, why do they tell you, this is why we need to give you 12 hours this year and 8 hours this year and 6 and 4? Why do they tell you it's important for you to sit in a classroom and learn those things about report writing?
So we understand the details of the incident and continue to write the reports correctly.
That's right. That's what they teach you. Why it's important to write a report. So
Correct.
so when you come to court, maybe more than a year later, you can remember the details.
Correct.
And then if you have to tell a jury, you can tell them accurately about those details because you wrote it in your report, maybe.
Correct.
Okay. So now let's talk about August the 8th. That's the entry date. But you were there actually before law enforcement made entry, weren't you?
Correct.
Now, what time did you arrive to do further surveillance on Monday, August the 8th?
I believe about 6 a.m.
About 6 a.m. And were you alone or with somebody?
I was with my partner.
Deputy Rios?
Correct.
But was he in a separate car or same car?
We were in separate vehicles.
Okay. And was Deputy Wolf there also around 6 a.m. on August the 8th
Correct.
in separate car?
Correct.
Anybody else you can recall
No,
doing surveillance at the scene?
not that early.
Okay. And how many cars coming and going did you see that day before Melissa Yanez left about whatever time it was, about 1:30 in the afternoon?
None.
No cars coming and going on August the 8th?
Correct.
No foot traffic?
Correct.
And you did not see John Meyer go in or out of the house that day before he was arrested later about 5:30 in the afternoon. Is that right? Okay. Let's talk a minute about Melissa Yanez, please. Your report notes that at about 13:20, you advised that a white female who had been observed on Saturday and Sunday walked out of the house there at 224 Majestic Grove. Do you remember that?
I do not.
It's on page 3 of your investigative report. Just to refresh your recollection, if you could read that and then tell me if you remember writing that.
Yes.
So white female and somebody observed her on Saturday and Sunday at the 224 Majestic Grove. Was that you or do you know who?
I can't recall.
Okay. But it does say you, a white female who was observed Saturday and Sunday at the listed location, right?
Correct.
You don't remember who told you that?
No.
It's not in your report?
Correct.
You have no reason to doubt that information though, do you?
No.
It's probably one of law enforcement, was it not?
Correct.
She was seen walking out of the location on August the 8th, that is the Monday, at about 13:20 is what in non-military time?
1:20.
1:20 p.m., right?
Correct.
An hour and a half so after noon. Okay. And she had, what did you say? She had what in her hands when she walked out?
Bags.
Bags, plural?
Correct.
How many?
Can't recall.
Did you see her or was that reported to you also by somebody else seeing her walk out with bags in her hand?
Reported, I believe.
Do you remember seeing Yanez walk out of 224 Majestic Grove about 1:20 with bags in her hand?
No.
Where were you set up then at 1:20 when Yanez walked out?
I was set up caddy corner from the front of the house.
Were you in a position to see somebody if they walked out of the house where you were?
Correct.
But you didn't see her walk out around 1:20?
On that day I did. Are we talking about the 8th or are we talking about that Saturday?
No, I'm sorry if I wasn't clear. Right. I'm talking about that Monday, August the 8th.
Yes, correct.
All right.
Correct. That was me that seen her come out of the house with
Okay.
bags.
With bags in her hand.
Correct.
What color were they? Do you remember?
I can't recall.
May I approach you, Honor?
Yes.
So Suarez body cam. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Yeah. Let me show you, Deputy Salazar. And while Mr. Wilkins is setting up, I'm just gonna ask you to look at that and see. Did you see that bag coming? Did you see her come out of the house with that bag?
I can't recall.
Okay. So I'm showing you. I don't know if you can really tell on that. That's a bright pink bag, is it not?
Appears to be.
And that's on August the 8th, 2022 at 19:26, but we minus, what, 5 hours to adjust for central time? Is that right?
I believe so, yes.
So if we took 5 hours off of 19:26, it would be 14:26,
Correct.
2:26 PM then. Does that sound right?
Yes.
Okay. You don't remember seeing Yanez walk out of 224 Majestic Grove carrying that bright pink bag?
No.
You know what was found in there as lead detective?
Yes.
Right. That's Officer Suarez right there with his gloves on, isn't it?
Correct.
What's he pulling out of there?
Methamphetamine.
Part of the 300 grams she was found in possession of?
I believe so.
Number for that.
19, yeah. We'll offer defendants exhibit 19, Your Honor.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, defendants exhibit number 19 is admitted without objection.
I think yesterday you told the jury that you stayed at the house and you were not a part of the traffic stop. That is, that you stayed there at Majestic Grove and did not go out to where Suarez stopped Yanez. Is that right?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Well, did you go out there to the traffic stop where Melissa Yanez was on August the 8th, around 2:30 in the afternoon?
Not to my knowledge, I believe I stayed at the house.
You believe you're not sure?
Correct.
Look at your report, your investigative report on page 3. And let me just point you in the right direction. May I approach you?
Yes.
I'm just going to direct your attention and ask you to read it to yourself. See if that refreshes your recollection. These last 4 lines on your investigative report, page 3. That refresh your recollection about what happened on August the 8th?
A little bit.
There you say you went to the traffic stop, did you not?
It says I followed, conducted rolling surveillance.
Go ahead and read what it says.
Oh, am I allowed to read it?
It depends on if there's any objection. No objection has been raised. So yes.
I was able to covertly conduct rolling surveillance with assistance from another covert unit. Then I followed the Jeep with the white female driving it. advised the marked units of my location. Deputy Suarez assigned the uniform gang unit, made the area, and conducted a traffic stop.
So two things I want to ask you about there. It does sound like from this that you did go to the traffic stop scene.
That's correct.
Okay. And if you said differently yesterday, you were just mistaken.
Correct.
Also, what does it say? You were in contact with Suarez. You yourself were in contact with Suarez, who made the traffic stop, were you not?
Not directly. It was over the radio.
What does it say in your report? Well, okay, over the radio, you mean you were talking
it
to
says-
Suarez over the radio?
Excuse
I
me,
advise
sorry,
Mark
sorry,
units-
excuse me, stop. So everyone, I know sometimes we get conversational, but it can only be one person speaking at a time. Otherwise, the court reporter is not going to get it. And the conversation that you all are having is just going to appear in the record as two people talking at once without anything written down. So if you all will remember, ask a question, answer it, and do it in that vein, please.
Thank you for that reminder.
Sure.
What does it say about you and Suarez talking or over the radio or otherwise?
It says I advised the marked units. He is the one that showed up.
Was his name mentioned there?
Deputy Suarez, correct.
Read what it says.
I advised marked units of my
Objection, Your Honor.
location.
Hearsay, I think he can read it to refresh his memory, but I don't think he can just read directly from the report.
All right, that'll be sustained.
Refresh your recollection and then tell us what it says about Suarez.
It says I advised over the radio the units where I was. Deputy Suarez is the one that showed up.
So you're saying you did not advise Suarez to make a stop on Giannis?
I advised all the marked units who were assisting us. He is the one that showed up.
To be clear then, you advised somebody to make a traffic stop and he happened to be the one that made it.
I advised all the marked units that were assisting us. He is the one that showed up.
And made the traffic stop,
Correct.
the pretext traffic stop.
Correct.
Now you told us yesterday that you were not a part of the entry team itself. And we're going to talk about the entry in a minute, but let me ask you a little bit about this fellow, John Sparks, okay? You're familiar with that name?
Correct.
The report you paired, your investigative report on page 1 of that report, you list Sparks' address as what?
224 Majestic Grove.
That's this address that we've been talking about for a couple of days now, right?
Correct.
But Sparks was not there when entry was made on August the 8th, was he?
I believe he was.
In the house?
I believe he was.
Well,
Sorry, Sparks?
John
Mark.
Sparks, right?
No, Sparks was not.
Right, okay. And the deputies, if you know the time, and if not, we'll talk about it in a minute. The deputies made entry at 5:32 PM on August the 8th. That sound right?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'll show you something in a minute about that time. And we'll talk a little bit more, but you know that approximately 13:45, now we're on August the 8th. And 13:45 would be what time non-military?
145.
1:45 PM. Wolf advised, I guess over the radio, that who left the scene at 224 Majestic Grove at 1:45. And you can look at your report to refresh your memory.
Okay.
Did you have a chance, at 1:45? Who was seen walking out of the, 224 Majestic Grove?
A white female, a white male,
And, they got into what vehicle?
a yellow box truck,
That's the yellow box Penske truck that we've been talking about,
correct?
that was seen there on at least Saturday and Sunday and Monday, right?
I believe so,
But you don't remember if it was there or not on Friday?
correct.
And you know that, so at 1:45, this was like 25 minutes after Yanez left, right?
Correct.
So Yanez left in her black Jeep at 1:20, and then 25 minutes later, this white male and white female left in the yellow Penske box truck, correct?
Correct.
Now, we know that, you know, that male was not John Meyer, right?
Correct.
And you know who it was in the yellow box truck, don't you?
I do now. I didn't at the time.
Who was it in the yellow box truck? Two people.
John Sparks.
And
I don't remember the female's name.
Kelly Couples, does that ring a bell?
No.
Okay. But you know there was a female in the yellow box truck that left at 1:20.
Correct.
And you know it was pulled over later too, was it not?
Correct.
Was that another pretext stop?
I don't know. I didn't handle that one.
Who did?
Probably another deputy that was there, probably my partner.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
May I approach?
Yes.
So you defendants exhibit 20, do you recognize the gentleman in that picture?
I do.
And do you recognize, it's not a color picture, but that's the yellow box truck, right?
Correct.
And you wrote in your report that that Sparks was pending charges for possession of methamphetamine on August 8th, 2022, did you not?
Correct.
And that's because you found methamphetamine in a room that you believe was John Sparks in the house 224 Majestic Grove.
Correct.
So let me just get back to time. That's during when the entry was made. Searches, you assigned different people to search different rooms, right?
Correct.
And one of the rooms was a room that you believed was occupied by John Sparks.
Correct.
But John Sparks wasn't in the home that day because he was out on the side of the road getting pulled over by one of your officers, right?
Correct.
And he was found in possession at that time of what, THC cartridges?
I don't recall.
Okay, it's on. But you do know what you wrote in your report about Sparks's possession, in your opinion anyway, at the house on August 8th after the team made entry.
Correct.
We'll offer defendants 20, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I object. This witness did not take that picture. He didn't testify that he has personal knowledge of who took the picture. I don't think the proper foundation has been laid for this exhibit, Your Honor.
All right. State's objection will be overruled. Defense exhibit number 20 is admitted.
And you show this to the jury.
Yes,
Showing now defense exhibit number 20.
just one moment. It takes a while for everything to heat up.
Yeah, it's probably. And if we looked at the time on that, it's 18.3, and then it looks like a cloud blocked out the exact time, but 18.3. So that would be minus 5 hours, 13:30, 1:30. Does that sound? If my math is right there or not, but
Sounds about right.
13 something, right? Okay. And who is the man?
That would be John Sparks.
You know, Sparks was arrested with a white female, as was described. You don't know that woman?
No, I do not know that one.
Does the name Kelly Couples ring a bell with you, though?
No.
So now if my count is right, we've got multiple people seeing at the 224 Majestic Grove on August the 8th, sometime before the entry was made. Sparks and Couples were there until from whenever they got there, and that's unknown, right?
Correct.
Do you know anybody that saw them get there at any particular point in time?
No.
All we know about Sparks and Couples is when they left about 1:45 on Monday, August 8th,
Correct.
and were observed by somebody. We don't know who.
Correct.
And so they were in the house at least until 1:45. Melissa Yanes was in the house at least until 1:20. The
Back
house,
to the form of the question, Judge.
Sustained.
well, I'm just trying to figure out, I mean, I want to make sure we know who
Object
was
to
in
the
the
form of the
house.
question, Judge.
I don't understand the objection.
All right, that will be sustained. Counsel, if you'll ask your next question, please.
You know, multiple people were at the house at 224 Majestic Grove on August the 8th before entry was made, don't you?
Correct.
Okay, and we've named them, have we not?
Correct.
In addition to Alderete, Darian Sandoval, and Michael McKenzie, who were there on your video, right?
Correct.
People you were reading the rights to along with John.
Correct.
And then we know about these other three people. That's 7, right?
Correct.
So let's talk about the entry. You were, I think we've gone over this, you were the lead officer, right?
One of them, yes.
Who else was lead if not you?
My partner, Deputy Rios. We worked it together.
Okay. So you were in charge though, weren't you?
Wasn't anybody directly in charge. We just worked the case together. I was the evidence tech.
Nobody was in charge? Is that what you just said? There wasn't anybody in charge?
We both worked it together.
So both of you were in charge?
Yes.
And you said you were the evidence tech?
Correct.
Okay. And if Deputy Wolf referred to you as the case agent, would that be inaccurate?
No, we're both case agents on the case.
You and Rio?
Correct.
Okay, I got you. So just to get the times down, do you know what time entry was actually made?
I do not.
Let's see if we can nail that down. Who is Sergeant Gamboa?
He's one of our unit sergeants.
And he had some involvement in this incident, did he not?
I believe so.
He showed up at may I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Who announced, tell the jury what you mean, what is meant in your line of work about somebody who announces the police presence and the search warrant?
That's when somebody's on the loudspeaker calling out to whoever's in the house. Bear County Sheriff's Office, we have a search warrant. Anybody in the house, come on out.
So they want to make sure that the people have a chance to come out, right?
Absolutely.
And they talk loudly.
Right.
And you know that Sergeant Gamboa was assigned that task in this case, do you not?
Correct.
You don't know exactly when he pulled up?
I do not.
If I show you Defendant's Exhibit 21, can you recognize that general, what it generally depicts?
Somebody in a vehicle?
Somebody in a vehicle. If I told you that was Sergeant Gamboa, would you take my word for it?
No.
Okay. What time does it have on there, on his clock radio?
It says 22:32.
No, I mean, on his,
Oh.
on his actual radio on his
7.
car that is actually. on the radio.
Stop. All right. So everyone, court reporter cannot take down two people talking at the same time. All right. So ask your question.
What time is displayed on the gentleman's visual, I don't know what it is on his console there,
17:32.
17:32, and what would that be in non-military time?
5:32.
And did you write in your report when entry was made?
I don't recall.
But if that was Gamboa making the announcement, it would show 5:32, is that right?
If it was him, yes.
What does it say as far as it actually, does he have a body cam on there? What does it say about that time?
22:32.
Same time as on his, right, on his dashboard, except dashboard is not corrected for military time and 5 hours difference?
Correct.
Okay. You recognize what's depicted in States Exhibit 22 and 23, do you not?
Yes.
What is that?
Members of the team making entry on the house.
What time is on there when, just so we know what time entry was made according to the body cams on your team,
22:33.
which would be what time with all the adjustments we have to make?
5:33.
5:33 or 5:32?
Correct.
Your Honor, we offer defendants exhibits 21, 22, and 23. That's Sanchez's body. Oh, yeah, both of them. You want to approach?
Yes. Since exhibits 22 and 23 are admitted without objection, and it's the court's understanding defense, you're withdrawing defendant's exhibit number 21, is that correct?
Correct.
And then 21 is withdrawn.
Judge, can we approach?
Okay, I'm sorry. That is correct. All right. Defense exhibits, so the record can be clear. Defense exhibits number 22 and 23 are admitted over state's objection. Thank you.
So I'm going to show now defendant's exhibit 22. Just so we know pretty much exactly when entry was made. What time is that? Let me ask you first, what does that show?
22:32.
And what does it show? What does the exhibit show happening?
Members of the team make an entry.
Okay, and what is that gentleman right in front doing?
Breaching,
Breaching with what?
a breaching tool.
So he's got a breaching tool and he's ramming it open, right?
Correct.
You know if he tried to open the door before ramming it open?
No idea. I wasn't there.
Then I'm going to show you, just so we can see, these are seconds apart. The door is not yet open there, and in the exhibit I'm showing now 22, is it?
Doesn't appear to be.
Let me show you defendant's exhibit 23, which is the next minute, 22:33. What do we know about the door now? What can we see?
Appears to be open now.
Does that look like a door that's been breached with a breaching tool?
Correct.
How can you tell?
They had the breaching tool in their hand and they make an entry.
And then this stuff down at the bottom here, does that look like door frame?
Just looks like a white line to me. I don't know what that is.
So when did you go in, Deputy Salazar? If they went in at 5:33, when did you go in?
We went in after it was secure, I believe we went in after K-9 did their walkthrough.
Okay, so we saw Mr. Molina testify yesterday, the K-9 man. And we got his body cams. Do you remember what time you went in though, other than it was just after him?
I do not.
So if we were to look at his body cams, we would know when he went in, and not only when he went in, but when he finished, right?
Yes.
And then, but before Molina went in, these other officers went in, the entry team, right?
Correct.
And it was their job to make sure the place was secure, correct?
Correct.
Do you remember who was on the entry team?
I do not.
Was there any kind of log kept about the scene where everybody coming and going on the team has to sign in at some point that they're in the residence or out of the residence?
No.
Did you make any effort to record how many or who or which officers went inside at any point in time?
No.
And we do know from the video that you're shown on the video with the 4 people seated in the room, right? You're talking to them, you're reading rights.
Correct.
You remember the time of that?
I do not.
You remember on there saying it's now 6:06 on August the 8th, 2022?
I do not.
Whatever you said on there, that would be accurate, right? You were looking at your watch?
Correct.
So if you said 6:06, that's about right.
Correct.
And you remember saying after the taping, it like 3 minutes long, you said the taping will now stop and the search will begin?
Correct.
Who was taping you?
My partner.
Why did you tell him to stop the taping when you were starting the search?
We always stop the taping when we start the search.
You always stop the taping when you start the search?
Correct.
And you weren't wearing a body cam, were you?
No.
Are you wearing one today?
No.
You're not wearing one today?
No.
When do you wear a body cam?
Whenever we're not, if I'm working off duty, I'll wear my body cam, but if I'm on duty, we don't wear the body cams due to the fact that we're, for the most part, we're in communication with confidential informants.
So you wear it when you're off duty, but not on duty. So So we've already identified the people you saw, and basically hands up, and they were all secured, put in cuffs and seated in that room where you could talk to them.
Correct.
And they're gonna be searched. Each one of these people are gonna be searched for security purposes. Are they not?
Correct.
You want to make sure they don't have a weapon on them, right?
Correct.
And you're running a search warrant, you want to make sure they don't have any illegal drugs on them, don't you?
Correct.
And you have a right to full body search on them. Incident just to the search warrant. Right?
What do you mean by body search?
Well, look through their clothes,
Correct.
make them take their shoes off. Look anywhere on their person you think they might be concealing drugs, correct?
We conduct a pat down search of the person, yes.
Well, okay, is that all, a pat down search?
Yes.
You know, reach in their pocket and do that?
If the person conducting the search feels something in the pocket, they will go in and retrieve it.
Okay, so who conducted the search on John Meyer that day?
No idea.
Did you tell somebody to search him?
Normally, the people who puts them in cuffs will do the search.
Who was that?
No idea. I wasn't in the house when they
Okay,
secured it.
you said that, that's correct. You never did find out who was it that searched John?
No.
You would know, though, as one of the lead detectives, lead officers, if any had been found on him, anything on his person, any drugs, any methamphetamine, paraphernalia, anything like that on his person, you'd know that, wouldn't you?
Correct.
And you know, nothing was found on John's person that day,
Correct.
August 8th, is that correct?
Correct.
This was a one-story house, was it not?
I believe so, yes.
Well, we've got a picture of it. Defendant's Exhibit 1. What do we have to do on this one? There it is. Yeah. So that again is 224 Majestic Road, right?
Yes.
One-story house?
Yes.
Do you have any idea how big it is?
No.
If I told you 2,700 square feet, would you quarrel with that?
No.
So house bigger than some people, smaller than others, right?
Yes.
Did you make any kind of a diagram of the inside of the house? Now, Mr. Wilkins prepared a bunch of body cam, individual body cams yesterday to show the different rooms, right?
Yes.
But those body cams are a little bit blurry, not just his. I mean, all of our body cam pictures, many of them are blurry. Would you agree with that?
Correct.
Because what we're doing is we've got this video and we're taking a snapshot. We just hit a button that says take a snapshot of that moving video, right?
Correct.
And so it's not like having a camera or an iPhone and being still and taking a picture. Sometimes the shots are a little bit blurry, right?
Correct.
But did you take any or did you ask? Well, withdraw that question. When Mr. Wilkins showed you a picture yesterday of the may I look at the exhibit, Ron?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yeah, yeah, I can, you look through that. Let's talk about where you believe the evidence is located that you picked up. Did you or did Mr. Rios assign the people to search the house?
No,
Who did?
supervisors, the sergeants on scene.
Sergeant who? Which, there were several sergeants there.
Sergeant, it was either Sergeant Gamble or Sergeant Hendricks.
I'm sorry, Sergeant Hendricks?
Hendricks, correct.
Okay. Well, what did you have to do with assigning, if anything, the different people to conduct the searches?
Nothing. I just went in and collected the evidence after the search was completed.
So you didn't designate people to search?
No,
Who would know, if anyone, who was assigned to conduct the search of each room?
the sergeants,
Gamboa or Hendricks?
correct.
And they're still with the Bear County Sheriff's Office.
They are.
Did they make reports or do you have any idea?
It doesn't show that they have reports generated.
You would know that, wouldn't you?
Just one moment. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a brief recess. And remember, when you all need a break, just do the break sign, okay? So we're going to take a brief recess and we'll be back at 10:50. So remember my previous instructions. You're not allowed to discuss the case among yourselves or internally. Everything that you need to know about this case is to come from. Thank you. All right, everyone, please rise for the jurors. Yes, we're ready.
All right, for the jury.
All right, everyone, please be seated. And Mr. Stevens, I believe it's still your witness.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
So to make sure I'm clear on this, your responsibility was evidence collection, is that right?
Right.
And report writing responsibility, that was your report writing, that was your responsibility to write the report.
Correct.
And we know that because it says so on your report. That was one of your responsibilities, to write the report, correct?
Correct.
Now, so Molina said he had a spotter. Do you know who his spotter was?
No.
You know what a spotter is?
Yes.
And I think he explained that to us. It's somebody, as he's walking the dog, the spotter spots things that the dog alerts on. Is that right?
Believe so.
How would we find out who the spotter was?
You can ask Deputy Molina.
Definitely, Melanie, we did. He didn't know. You don't know?
No.
Okay. Now, so Sergeant Gamboa or Sergeant Hendricks assigned different people to search different rooms.
Sergeant Gamboa and Sergeant Hendricks are supervisors over the unit. I can't recall if Sergeant Hendricks was there, but Sergeant Gamboa was.
So one or the other, probably Gamboa, assigned the people, you take the left rear bedroom, you take the master bedroom, you take the master bathroom.
Yes.
Now, Officer Ma, Deputy Ma testified yesterday that there were several persons, and he didn't know who all was assigned to search the master bedroom. But he said several people. Ma said he reported to you.
Object to the form of the question, Judge.
All right, that'll be sustained.
Well, did Ma report to you after he searched the master bedroom that he didn't find any contraband in there?
I can't recall.
You've seen Ma's report though, have you not?
No.
May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
Yes.
Got it? Yeah, I got it. Yeah. I'll look. Yeah. I'll look. Show you Defendant's Exhibit 24 just to look at it and see if it looks like Deputy Ma's report.
It has Deputy Moss' name on it.
And that would indicate it's his report, would it not?
Correct.
Okay. He says in there what he didn't find, right?
Correct.
In the master bedroom, right?
Correct. Well, it says room.
Says room.
Yes, correct.
You don't know what room he was assigned to?
Yes, it has Myers here.
Okay, so. And then he said he reported it to who? That he didn't find any contraband in the master bedroom.
Lead investigator,
That's you.
myself and my partner.
Okay, well, who did he report it to? You know?
He didn't report it to me because I don't recall.
You don't recall, or he didn't do it?
I don't recall.
But you were the one responsible for collecting the evidence.
Correct.
So it would make sense that he reported it to you, wouldn't it?
Either or, myself or Deputy Rios.
Okay. So at what point did you figure out it was the right time for you to start collecting the evidence?
Once everybody finds it and they tell me it's there, I just start collecting.
Okay, everybody finds it and tell me it's there, right? So we don't know who everybody is, correct?
Correct.
Do we know the name of a single person who saw this evidence for the first time themselves?
I do not. I was not a part of the search.
Well, you were part of collecting the evidence.
Correct.
So do you remember a single person? You know these deputies, you work with them all the time, right?
Correct.
So for example, who is the deputy that came to you and told you where the blue methamphetamine was?
I don't recall.
And is it in your notes anywhere who this person was?
No.
Why wouldn't you put that down so we could talk to that person?
Can't recall.
You can't recall why you wouldn't put it down?
Correct.
Would it make sense to you to put it down?
Sometimes.
When would it not make sense for you to put down the deputy who found evidence that you were going to bring to court of law?
Depends on the circumstance.
What circumstances would justify not putting that down in this case so you could come in and tell the jury who it was?
Depends on how fast things are moving.
Well, but by the way, how fast were things moving? You had a search warrant. You had unlimited amount of time to search that house, didn't you?
I can't recall.
Well, you know that, don't you? How many search warrants have you been involved with?
Several.
Several. You know that when you get a search warrant, it's an authorization from a judge saying you can search that house, and it doesn't put any time limit on it, does it?
No.
So you had an unlimited amount of time to conduct the search of the house. So you said things were moving fast. You had all the time you needed. And you didn't even have time to write down their names?
Object to the form of the question, Judge.
All right, any other objection?
Object to the sidebar comment, object to the narrative.
Sustained.
But is that what you're telling the jury? That the reason you didn't write down the names of the people who actually located this evidence is because you didn't have time to do it?
We didn't feel the need for a ledger.
You didn't feel the need for a ledger? If you had a ledger, would that tell you what we're asking today?
Object to the form of the comment and object to the form of the question, and object to sidebar.
All right, that'll be overruled.
You can answer that question.
What was the question again?
The question was, if you had a ledger, would it allow you to answer those questions that I've been asking you? Who found what piece of evidence?
Yes.
And as the lead investigator in charge of evidence collection, you didn't think a ledger was important?
No.
And as a result, we don't know the name. Is that right?
Correct.
So we don't know who's found the blue rock. Is that correct?
Correct.
How about the morphine? You know what I'm talking about? The State's Exhibit 44, it's been introduced into evidence. I think I'll mess it up if I mess it.
Me too. Hey, Deputy Law.
Sure. State's Exhibit 44. That's a bottle that says morphine on it, right?
Correct,
And you didn't find that, right?
correct,
We don't know who found that.
correct.
What do we know about where it was found?
Said it was collected from the master bedroom.
Somewhere in the master bedroom.
Correct.
Uh, Whose name is on that?
Catherine London,
Who's that?
don't know.
That's the person that's prescribed to?
Correct.
Well, do you remember where you were told that State's Exhibit 44 morphine was found?
No,
Well, you came in and took a picture of it, didn't you, when somebody told you that's where it is?
correct.
Did you take that picture?
Yes,
And you don't remember where in the bedroom it was?
no,
And you didn't say in your report where in the bedroom it was?
no.
By the way, when did you send these pictures to the district attorney's office? The original set of pictures you took?
I can't recall.
I mean, it was in 2022 sometime probably, was it not?
Believe so.
But how about this one, State's Exhibit 44? When did you send that picture to Mr. Wilkins?
I can't recall.
Was it last week?
I can't recall.
Maybe we have just a minute, John.
Mhm.
Tuesday of this week, 3 days ago, you sent them that picture for the first time?
For the first time,
Yes, Hank Wilkins.
I believe it was because we couldn't, I don't know if it was for the first time, or we just couldn't bring up that same picture, if the image wasn't coming up.
I don't know, but did you just send it? Did you tell him you just found it on your phone?
I told him I had
Tuesday,
it
2
on,
days ago, 3 days ago?
I told him I had it on my phone.
But you hadn't sent it to him before?
I believe it was sent with the prosecution package.
You believe it was? Why'd you send it to him again?
He asked for it.
Why would he ask for it if he already had it?
You'll have to ask him.
I'm asking you,
I don't know.
but you did send it to him
Yes,
and you don't remember why?
no.
Okay. But you took that picture. Why didn't you back up for a perspective so that we could see where it was if it's in the bedroom somewhere? So we could match it up with some of these videos, body cams, and see, yeah, that really came from the bedroom. Should I ask the question again?
I'm not a professional photographer, sir.
Oh, I understand.
Picture.
I'm not either. But you were responsible for collecting and documenting the evidence.
And I did,
So where was this found?
master bedroom,
That's all you can tell us.
correct.
Where somebody told you it was found on the team, that is.
Correct.
Okay. How about the blue rock, the blue methamphetamine? Where was that found?
In the master bathroom.
You were told that, and again, you don't know who found it.
Correct.
And you don't know, by the way, whether anything had been moved in this picture. Do you know that
No,
before it was found? What's that?
no.
Because you couldn't know because you weren't there.
Correct.
You could speculate that they wouldn't move it because they might get in trouble. But you don't know. If I show you State's Exhibit 40. The simple answer is all you know is these things were there when you took the picture.
Correct.
And you don't know who put those things there.
Correct.
By the way, well, let me show you this picture and see if you can take a look at the orange pill bottle in State's Exhibit 40, okay? See that orange pill bottle sitting right next to the black plastic thing you can just see the corner of?
Yes.
I'll show you Defense Exhibit 11. This was also a picture you submitted to the district attorney's office at some point in time. Defense Exhibit number 11. Is that the same orange pill bottle that I just showed you on Defense Exhibit 40? Excuse me, on State's Exhibit 40?
I don't know.
What does it look like? You see the black box with the Q-tip swabs in it?
Yes.
And that has a top on the top of it, right? And
Correct.
something inside it?
Correct.
And then State's Exhibit 40 again. Tops off of it,
Correct.
and something's been taken out of it.
Objection, Your Honor. I don't think that the witness, I think his answer was, I don't know. So I don't know that he's testified that those are the same bottle.
All right, ask your next question.
Oh. Do you dispute that this is the same bottle?
I can't.
You sent this picture to the district attorney's office with your original group of 22.
I can't tell if it's the same bottle.
Did you take this picture? I say this picture, I mean, what's been marked as Defendant's Exhibit 11. Did you take that picture?
Yes.
Okay, so you took both these pictures, Defendant's Exhibit 11 and State's Exhibit 40. You took both these.
Correct.
And you took both pictures, so why'd you take this picture? Why did you take Defendant's Exhibit 11? For what purpose? It must have had a purpose for taking it. Why?
Because that little pill was sitting at the bottom of it.
Little pill sitting at the bottom of it? Do you dispute that these are different? Because you took the picture. That's the same
Object to the
bottle?
form of the question.
All right, that'll be overruled. You can ask your question.
You took the pictures. So isn't it a fact, sir, that is how it looked at some point in time, and then later somebody took something out of that orange bottle, took the top off of it, and laid it out? Does that make sense to you?
I can't determine if somebody did that or not.
Who would have done that? I mean, you're responsible for the evidence. You said it hadn't been moved. Just ask. Do you know?
No.
You don't know who searched John Sparks' room?
No.
You don't know who searched Michael McKenzie's room?
No.
You don't know who searched David Alderetti's room?
No.
May I have just a moment, Your Honor?
Yes.
you mentioned that there's what, how many, two different sinks in the master bathroom?
I believe so.
Well, I mean, I don't, you were there, I wasn't, so if you remember,
Yes,
you think two?
yes.
And you don't know who used any of those sinks, do you?
What do you mean?
The blue rock, where did you find that? Where did you see it once somebody else had found it?
In the master bathroom?
Where it shows on State's Exhibit 40 that we just looked at?
Correct,
And that was one of the sinks in the master bathroom.
correct.
So you don't know who put that, you don't know what person put that blue methamphetamine there, do you?
No,
By the way, there are ways you can determine sometimes if another person, a particular person had contact with an item, are there not?
how's that?
DNA, fingerprints. So let me ask you, this bottle here, Defense Exhibit 11 that you took a picture of. Let me ask you this first. Were you wearing gloves that day when you were handling this evidence?
Yes,
Why?
we always wear gloves.
Why?
We're dealing with narcotics.
Because you're dealing with evidence too, aren't you?
Yes,
Okay. So did you make any effort to take fingerprints off that bottle in Defendant's Exhibit 11?
no, we don't normally take fingerprints off bottles.
I didn't ask you what you normally do. I would, is there any reason why you would not even try to take fingerprints off that if you're trying to prove possession?
Object to the form of the question.
All right, that'll be overruled.
You can answer the question.
No, we don't, that's not common practice.
Well, okay. I'm not asking about common practice in the Bexar County Sheriff's Office right now. I'm just asking you, is there any reason you can think of why you would not want to know whose fingerprints were on that orange bottle?
Because it's not common practice.
And that would cause you not to want to know?
Correct.
You know what by the way, how many fingerprint technicians do you have in your office?
I can't answer that question.
Let me just look at the state's witness list to see who they listed as experts, fingerprint experts in their office. I mean, in your office, at the sheriff's office. Yes, great, thanks. Good. It'll take me a minute to read the names off. See if you recognize the names of people, fingerprint examiners in the Bexar County Sheriff's Department. Manuel Alvarez, you know,
No,
Officer Alvarez,
no,
Vincent Villarreal,
no,
Bobby Segovia,
no,
Tiffany Reichman,
no,
Raul Rodriguez,
no,
Bertha Salas,
no,
Brianna Gaddison,
no,
Roger Hassard,
no,
Roxana Rosas,
no,
Kathleen Keller,
no,
Robert Jimenez,
no,
Roxana Alcantar.
No.
You do know, if I guess you don't know any of those, but you do know there are fingerprint examiners in the Bexar County Sheriff's Department, don't you?
yes,
And it's their job somebody has to collect the fingerprints at the scene.
correct.
Because you were involved in evidence collection, would you be one who perhaps would call in a fingerprint, a person whose job is to lift latent fingerprints?
Yes,
Okay, and you've done that before as an officer, have you not?
correct.
You've said, here's an item of evidence that I think it might be a good idea for us to take fingerprints off of to see if we can match it up with a person. Right?
Correct.
And that would have been your job here to make that call, to call that to just at least test the bottle. Right?
Correct.
And you didn't do it,
No,
chose not to.
correct.
Did you request fingerprints off the bottle of, that says morphine Catherine London on it?
No,
Same reason, it's not common practice to do that?
correct.
How about something that's even more sensitive than fingerprints, DNA? Did you ask that any of these items be swabbed for DNA?
No,
How does that work? Tell us how, as someone who handles evidence, how you would call in somebody to collect possible DNA evidence off something like this.
that would come from a crime scene lab, from our crime scene lab.
And they would come out and they would swab it down. They're trained to do that.
I believe so. I've never seen him do it.
Never seen somebody in the Bexar County Sheriff's Office swab for DNA?
No,
And by the way, it wouldn't just be this bottle. May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
You sent that picture to the district attorney's office, did you not?
no, I didn't take that picture.
You didn't take that picture? Did you send it to the district attorney in your original group of 22?
Yes,
Okay, so somebody, who sent that picture to you?
I can't recall.
Was somebody in the sheriff's office?
Correct,
So what, you wound up with pictures you took yourself, right?
correct,
And you know you took them because you can find them on your phone.
correct,
And you know, you got some other pictures that you don't know who they came from.
correct,
But you associated them with this case, and that's one of them right there, Defendant's Exhibit 25.
correct,
So you know that was taken from some room in the house?
correct.
That was in Sparks' room, wasn't it?
I couldn't tell you.
You don't know.
No,
Whose name is on here? Can you read that?
no, I can't. Say Jordan?
Richard Jordan, is that what it says?
I can make out a Jordan,
Jordan, right, okay. Not Sparks,
not Sparks.
not John Meyer.
No,
Okay. And this is something you thought had evidentiary value, or you wouldn't have sent it to the prosecutor.
correct.
We'll offer Defendant's Exhibit 25, Your Honor.
You approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
So how would we find out who sent this picture to you? State Defense Exhibit 25. How would we find that out?
I'd have to do some research to find out who sent that picture to me.
You didn't do that research first before we came to court?
No,
You don't think it mattered who took this picture of something found in John Sparks' room?
no.
Right, then, and I'm sorry, what was that exhibit number, counsel?
25, Your Honor.
All right, with regards to defense exhibit number 25, State's objection will be sustained.
State's Exhibit 43. You took that picture,
Yes,
but not at the scene, not at 224 Majestic Grove.
no,
You took that picture at the property room in the sheriff's office?
correct.
Tell us what the property room is.
That's where we put all of our evidence.
You yourself didn't locate any of those items on the picture, right?
Correct.
And again, I don't mean to be repetitive, but I want to make sure you can't tell us who located a single one of those items.
Correct.
This blue, the blue substance, yesterday, what correction was it that you made on, you said originally you identified a white crystalline substance?
On the lab report, I put white crystal substance when it should have been white and blue.
White and blue, okay. And so that was correct, corrected yesterday. You didn't, when you first saw this, whoever saw it before you, when you first saw it, the blue stuff, you didn't even know what it was, did you?
Correct.
How long have you been a narcotics officer?
2 years.
2 years? Okay. So you've had some experience at it.
Correct.
Trained narcotics officer, you're taught to identify things that you're likely to come in contact on the street with, aren't you?
Correct.
Because what you have to do sometimes is you collect something and you might be able to say, well, that's not contraband, or you might say that could possibly be contraband, right?
Correct.
And then your function at that point, or somebody with you, would field test it, right?
Correct.
And you know, the field test is not, it sometimes field tests are inaccurate, correct?
Correct.
So it has to go to a laboratory for final confirmation.
Correct.
But here, you didn't even recognize this stuff as illegal, did you?
Correct.
But once you got the positive test, you said, okay, it's probably illegal.
Correct.
When you were taping John, there sitting in the little room, well, at any point in time, you were dealing with John Meyer on August the 8th with regard to the things found in that house that day. Officers look for admissions from suspects, do they not?
No.
Well, for example, if you look at your report, page 2, your investigative report, does it have a category listed there called admissions?
Yes, number 6.
Number 6. So it says admissions. What you're talking about is that anybody involved making an admission of guilt. What was the answer?
No.
including John Meyer. You didn't take anything he said as an admission of guilt, did you?
Correct.
You talked about some of the property seized. What is a Lorex? You know what I'm talking about?
No,
It's. Look on page, do you have your 13-page Spears report?
I do.
Could you look on page 2 where it talks about something called the Lorex? A security camera, I think.
Okay,
That's listed as property seized, isn't it?
yes,
Your officers found security cameras on his house, correct?
yes,
And then when you go inside, there's some storage device that has that security footage on it, correct?
yes.
He seized it, didn't you?
I didn't seize it. I believe Deputy Mom seized that.
Well, it's listed on your report as having been seized on your report, is it
Yes.
not? Okay.
It all goes on the same report, everybody who enters the property.
Sure, and you were in charge of the evidence.
Yes,
Okay. So you know it was seized, don't you?
I was in charge of the narcotics evidence. Anything seized after that was from Mom.
Well, you put
So
it,
I didn't even turn in the cameras. I didn't take the cameras with me. They seized the cameras.
they, meaning who's they?
Deputy Mom,
Okay, who testified yesterday?
correct.
And what was found on the security cameras in his car, in his house?
I have no idea.
You didn't look?
No.
May I have just a minute, John?
Yes.
What else? But that's all I wanted to do about that. I'll ask you the next.
May I approach, Ms. Guerrero, Oriana?
Yes.
And what did she say?
May we approach her?
Yes.
another question or two about State's Exhibit 25. May I approach your Honor?
Yes.
State's Exhibit 25, the picture I'm just showing you, you know that was taken by some officer. You just don't know the name of the officer. You know it was taken in the room of John Sparks on August 8th, 2022, don't you?
No, I know an officer took a picture of it and sent it to me. I don't remember which room it was in.
Okay. You know it came from the house at 224 Majestic Grove.
Correct.
And it was taken on August 8th during this entry that we've been talking about.
Correct.
But as the evidence collection person, you never made an effort to find out exactly where it was found?
No.
We offer it still, Judge. It's been picture taken at the scene, provided to the district.
All right,
attorney.
any objection?
Same objection as before, Judge. I don't think it comes into this witness.
All right, that objection will be sustained.
May we have just a minute, Your Honor?
Yes.
Do we want to put anything in the bathtub? I agree. Here's another one. Is it the same thing? That might be a little clearer.
Yeah, that's ours.
Right.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
This is already in evidence. State's Exhibit 29. There's a little bit of glare on there.
However you were saying a second ago, kind of got there you go. You kind of got rid of the glare. No, sorry.
So you mentioned the different sinks in the master bathroom, deputy, right?
Correct.
And is the sink we're looking at in this Exhibit 29, State's Exhibit 29, where you first saw the blue rock?
Yes.
You're sure about that?
Yes.
And can you see the blue rock on that sink?
Yes.
If I gave you a pen and asked you to circle it, do you mind if I do that? Where the blue rock is on this, in your opinion?
Yes.
I think you can point at it. I don't really want a drawing on it.
May he step down here and point it out
Yes.
to the jury?
Yes, you may step down into the well.
Okay, so can the jury see what the deputy is pointing to? Okay. Not all of us can. I'm sorry for the glare. How about, can we do this? Can we just have an old fashioned old school way, Judge? Have the deputy
Yes.
down and point it out. Come on down here. Let me position myself to see. And that's blue, right?
Right.
And you're sure that's it?
Yes.
Now, when the one we just looked at, 29 was taken from Molina's body cam, and he was like one of the first people in there, right? Well, before the searching officers came in. Martin Molina with the dog.
I'm sorry, say again?
This one was from Molina's body cam. And we know that because you can see him in the mirror there. Right?
Okay,
Molina's got his dog, right? You can see him in the mirror. Is that right?
I see someone in the mirror.
Well, have any idea who that person, that
No,
colleague of yours
the face is blurred.
Okay. So we know it was taken at 5:56. So that was 30 minutes after, it was 33 minutes after the entry. So, you don't know if that's Molina's body cam or not.
I don't know whose body cam that is.
Okay. Somebody.
Correct,
It's
correct.
got the axon number on it. All right. This one is the picture you took. State's Exhibit 40 of the same area, kind of, although it's shrunk a little bit, but we know it's the same scene, don't we?
Yes, believe so.
Well, we can see some identifiers, I think. If you look at both of them. See that coffee cup?
Yes,
Okay. And that coffee cup looks kind of like this coffee cup
yes,
for anybody who can see it without the glare. There's two coffee cups. So are you satisfied that this is the same sink? We talked about two different sinks.
yes,
I'm trying to find the sink that you first saw the blue rock on
right,
and that you've identified the blue rock.
right.
And it's this sink right here, is it not?
Correct.
This sink.
Yes,
Are you sure that the blue thing you identified on State's Exhibit 29 is not that, what is that thing in the middle? Is that a vape pen?
I don't know what that is.
You know, when I say that thing in the middle, I mean that rainbow colored sort of cylindrical device,
I don't know what that is.
this thing right here.
Yes, I see what you're saying. I
Okay.
don't know what it is.
Is that the blue thing you saw on, that you can barely see on State's Exhibit 29?
It appears to be the blue rock that I saw.
It appears to be, but you were there, of course. You weren't there when Molina went in.
No,
Uh-huh. So, thank you. I showed that to you. Yeah. Not yet, yeah. 27 is kind of what it is. I haven't. Mhm. Yeah, that's. Yeah. Here's another shot of body cam I just showed you. At a slightly different angle. That's State's Exhibit, excuse me, that's Defense Exhibit 27. Okay. We'll offer this, Your Honor.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, and that's number 27?
Mhm.
All right, that will be admitted without objection.
See this thing over here? In the corner, deputy?
no,
You can't see that? It's hard to see.
yeah, I can't make anything out on that one.
Okay, let me show it to you close.
Can't make anything out of this picture. Too small.
Too small.
Yeah.
That may be, does it look at all like that rainbow colored cylindrical device that I showed you on the State's Exhibit?
No,
Different? Well, it's in evidence in the jury can see it. Defendant's exhibit 27. Pass the witness.
State,
Hi, Pro Shermer.
yes.
Deputy Salazar, I forgot to do this yesterday. So I've marked the outside of these bags. Of State's Exhibit 45 and 46. But let's start with State's Exhibit 46. Do you recognize this?
yes.
Hey, can you read that case number off the top of that for me?
Case number 22-016279.
Okay, can you pull out what's in there? Okay, and let's see, I've marked this one as State's Exhibit 46A. Is there any marking on the front of that? Does that got a number on it?
22-04537.
Did you make that number on the, did you write the number on that bag?
No,
Okay, and is that a pill bottle you have in there?
yes,
It's like some pills?
yes.
Okay. Pull out the contents of that. Well, this is envelope number, this is State's Exhibit 45. Pull out the contents there. And then, okay, can you pull out the blue item that's in there? So I'm sorry, let me stop you. So that larger envelope you have there is, can I see the State's Exhibit number on there? So that is marked as State's Exhibit 45A. And then on the other side of that bag, is there a number on that?
22-04537.
Okay, and then on the inside of it, can you pull out the blue item? Is that in its own bag?
Yes,
Okay, and I've marked this as State's Exhibit 45B. And can you flip that over for me? And does that have any numbers on it?
22-04537.
Did you put that number on that bag?
No,
Okay, and then looks like, is there, can you read me these letters on the bottom there?
HM Hotel Michael.
Okay, and then can you read me those numbers right there?
818 of 22.
Okay, and then right above that.
I India 1-14 or 11
Okay,
-1-1.
okay, right on, and then please show these to defense counsel here. This is 46.
Right, defense, do you want to approach
All right,
to see what they want to show you?
I'm not trying to make these right now.
All right, and just 1 second. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take our break at this time because it's close to the noon hour. And then we're going to come back, finish this witness. And then my understanding is both parties will probably rest today. All right. So remember my instructions. If you're going to be around the courthouse, make sure your badge is visible. We can go off the record, Diana. I know you've been typing a lot. Make sure your badge is visible so that people will not be discussing cases around you. You're not allowed to start deliberating individually with yourself or with each other. You're not allowed to view anything. Everything that you need to know about this case is to come from. Okay, see, other people are acting like they don't know that. Everything, you're trailing off. Everything that you need to know about this case is to come from. All right. All right. We'll come back at, I'm going to say 1:40. And the reason why I'm going to say 1:40 is I have a case that's coming back at 1:30 and it should only take 10 minutes, but we'll start at 1:40. Everyone, please rise for the